So to manage the literature, we have some software support also. We'll discuss about that one, right? But before that one, let's go in a systematic way. So I will start from the last slide we have left. We had this slide in the last class, right? So you have to develop a list, source list, from where you are going to get the. Are you able to see the PowerPoint presentation? Is this slide visible to you on your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are supposed to develop a source list and systematic archiving. Archiving means you are going to put in a particular order. Storing. Archive means you are going to have some sort of the storage, right? And nowadays, generally we go for the electronic copy, soft copy of the papers or the reading material, whatever that may be. If I tell you my case during my PhD, during the entire course of the 3 years, I have used only 2 writing notebooks. All work was on the laptop or the system. So you have to save the electronic copies systematically in the different folder. If the one folder you are going to make for the methods, different kind of the methods related to your research problem, paper discussing the different kind of the methods, techniques to solve that problem. One may be for the basic concept, fundamentals. Some material you are going to get in terms of the, what you can say, in terms of the books or some survey, something like that one. For that, you can make the different folders like that one. So you have to maintain the electronic copies systematically. And whenever you are going to retrieve that one for the reading purpose or whatever that may be for the future use, that should be easily accessible. You can find that in a very easy way. You know that in the last class also I told you, it is impossible to read each and everything, right? Each and everything that may be relevant to your course. TechnoSpark, you write your name, otherwise your attendance will be not marked. I don't know the exact name of the TechnoSpark 5 or 7, whatever name showing here, right? I already told to all the person, whenever you are joining the Zoom classes, please join with your official name. Later on, if your attendance is not marked, you are shown absent. That is your responsibility. If I didn't got the name as per the record, I won't mark your attendance. Right? So, okay, coming back. Impossible to read each and everything. So, be selective. Most of the time, we be selective in our day-to-day work. We give the priority to the work, which work has to be done, which not to be done. Similar way, which literature you are going to read, that selection you have to make, right? Be selective, read selectively. You won't be able, you don't have the time till the eternity to read all the things. Yeah. Now, next point is read some seminal or classic paper, review papers. Go for that kind of paper. That is base, going to give you the most of the information in the very precise form in a term of a paper only. And for that, you can refer to the review papers in your area. Review papers are those kind of the articles or research papers that discuss all about the good publications in a particular area and what work is going on, sometimes that throws some light upon the different tools, techniques, and give the future direction, some information about the future directions, right? So read this kind of the papers first. From that you can get a lot of idea what's going on. From these review papers or classic papers, you can get the reference of the so many good works happening in your area. You can refer to that papers, look at the references of that review paper. You can get a lot of paper to read. Before reading or doing the literature review, what you have to do, in this order, you are going to first give a glance, not the serious reading, but just going through title, abstract, introduction, see some figures, tables, and conclusion. If you find that paper is relevant, then put it in a different folder, right? Put it in a different folder for the future reference or the future reading, right? Don't forget to take the notes whenever you're going to give the serious reading of that paper. Write a note about that one. List the what methodology they have followed. If there should be some critical things you want to highlight, write down there some remarks like that one. Also summarize all the points that may relate to your work, like method, results, interpretation. Galaxy J7 Prime. From the next class, I won't admit this kind of name in this class, okay? If you want to attend the class, please make your name as an official one. Okay. Keep the papers you read filed away in the different folder. Once you read a paper, keep in a different folder so that you can distinguish between the what paper you already gone through and what are the remaining one that requires some kind of analysis or reading like that one. And avoid unnecessary branching or japping while you read a source, okay? So don't go for the so many types of the folders like them, only make the broad categories. So this is the research, or you can say literature search and reading strategy for the literatures. This is an example how we are going to make the notes and keeping the information. You can make the serial number, authors of that paper, title, publication year, journal details from which journal you got that paper, keyword they have used, and here mention the main highlights or the findings, right? What was discussed, what problem was solved in that one, what methodology they have used, how successful was that one, if there will be any contradiction with the previous studies or something like that. That should be the main highlights or findings, right? So you can make an Excel sheet, maintain this one for the taking the notes. During the whole time people are joining the Zoom, it's become the very distraction, going always admitting and like that. I already told, please join before the start of the class. Waiting room is available for this one. If you join meantime, that distract from the main presentation. Okay, no problem. Now, final checklist for the are the parameters of the review reasonable? on which basis, which parameters you are going to do the review. Let's say keyword you are using, is that directly connected to your research area? If you are looking for some methodology, something, so you have to find out if that is the reasonable one, this is going to give you the result as you desired or not. You have to see that why did you include some of the literature and exclude others, on the which basis. I already told that you can't go through all the papers, all the research. So there should be some inclusion and exclusion criteria, right? On which basis papers should be included or excluded. Which year did you exclude? You are not supposed to go for the paper that is the 10 years, 20 years, 15 years old. So you can exclude that kind of papers. They are not the recent one. If someone has published some research 10 years ago, a lot of the research built upon that one. New development took place in the 10 years. So that may be not so relevant. Have you emphasized recent development? Yeah. I'm again and again saying you, go for the papers, articles, literatures, that is the recent one. From there you can get the what happening in the present situation, in present time, right? Have you focused on the primary sources with only selective with the secondary sources? Getting the primary information, primary data, primary something is a good one. If someone is referring to some paper and you are believing on the first person, that is not good source of information. Direct information is a good one. Information coming from the third person is not a good one. So we have to believe on the primary source, means we have to look for the information from the journals, articles, or like that one, not on the some reference or the citations. Is the literature you have selected relevant? That you have to decide it. For each and every literature you are going to. And is your bibliographic data complete? Bibliographic means the reference or all the papers you are going to collect that data. How do you know when our literature review is complete, or we should stop, or we should go for the writing some sort of the chapter like literature review or paper upon that one? How do you know that our literature review is near to completion? What happens when you are going to do the literature review? If the same paper is repeating in your search result again and again coming, already you have gone through that literature, but no new thing is turning up, then you can say that, okay, I have done enough of the literature review. Now this is the repetition is happening. So at that point, you can stop literature review like that. Okay. For the critical evaluation, have you organized your material according to issues? There may be the different issues in a particular research area. Someone solving the problem related to the process, someone solving the problem related to the materials, someone solving problem related to the accessories. Take the example of the machining. In machining, there are the different kind of the problem can be associated with the machining process itself, with the materials you're going to use, with the tools, with the some sort of the coolant, or like this one. Is there any logic to? Is there a logic to the way you organize the material? Have you organized your material in the logical way? Rahima Yusuf, please don't join again and again if you're not able to join. I have admitted you 10 number of times. God. Does the amount of that the amount of the detail included on the issue relate to its importance or not? When you evaluated the literature, make the notes, how much importance you have given or how much details you have collected. Is that totally going to justify with the importance of that issue? Some issues are more important, some issues are less important. There is a priority. Okay. So as per that, you have to give the space in the literature also. The issue that is more important, that should be given more space, more explanation, more description, more analytical review of that paper or that issue. If there will be any conflicting ideas coming from the literature, like one people is telling something about a particular application, another people is telling just opposite of that one, how they are going to justify? You have to mention that one, right? If there should be no conclusion, research is not always about the conclusion. Always you are not going to find a conclusive ideas or results. Sometimes that may be inconclusive. Sometimes they give the direction, they leave the problem for the future research. So you have to mention that in a particular paper, okay, result is not conclusive or conflicting or whatever that may be. That can be done only if you go through the deep study of that paper, okay? And finally, you have you indicated the relevance of each reference, each paper you are going to refer in the literature, how that is related to your research. Is there any correlation? If there is no correlation, no relevance, so there is no need of that paper in your literature review. You have to keep only that kind of paper in your literature review that is related to your research area or research topic. Maybe not directly related, but in the some way, in some of the techniques, tools, whatever that may be. Okay. What a good literature review does. First, you should be ensured that you are not going to reinventing the wheels. What is the meaning of the reinventing the wheels? It's sort of the copy and paste. Okay. Already something is already developed, already research is done. You are going to copy and doing the same thing. Either you're going to do the copy or you're going to do the same thing. Already something is done. What is the need to do this? So reinventing the wheels means you are doing the same thing already that is done by someone, right? Gives credit to those who has laid the groundwork. In the literature review, always go for that kind of paper that set a basic platform for development of that area field, right? Demonstrate your knowledge of the research problem. In good literature review, if you write in a proper way, that should demonstrate that you have a good understanding of the research problem, your research problem. How that is going, in that case, you are going to target that kind of the article or paper. They are directly connected to your research problem, research area. You are not moving here and there. Just for the sake of the literature review pages, you are not going to fill up the literature review chapter with the irrelevant and very fundamental and basic concepts. In research or thesis, you are not going to give the basic knowledge or idea about the particular topic. This is a research. This is the higher level. Basic is for the courses in the bachelor's or the master's, whatever. You have to demonstrate the understanding of theoretical and research issues. What theory is going to be developed in particular area, how theory is developing, and what are research issues or challenges they are facing. Okay, that should be reflected in your literature review. Other things already you talked about, the critically evaluate the relevant literature information, ability to integrate and synthesize, that means not the demonstrative but the analytical representation. Your literature review should provide new theoretical insight or develop a new model as the conceptual framework for your research. From the literature review, you can find what is the gaps, how that gap can be filled, research gaps, right? And for that, you can develop a conceptual framework. Framework means a basic design, how we are going to solve the problems, or a model. And finally, your literature review should convince the reader that proposed research work will make a significant and substantial contribution. So your literature review is going to support your research work. On the basis of literature, you can say that, okay, there is a gap. This problem is not solved till date by anyone. No one has attacked this problem. So I'm going to do this. And that is a very big statement. On the basis of the literature, you can say that. No problem. And that will make your work more significant. Your contribution more important. Right? So this, how your literature review is going to help you. Already we have seen this. So at the start, you can go for the broad issues. You can consult the papers that may not seem going to directly address your problem, but may be useful. Let's say one technique someone is using in the other area, other field, and if you can apply that technique to solve the problem in your area, so you have to refer to or consult to that kind of the research articles or papers, right? Some common errors we made. Common errors made in the literature review. When you are going to organize your literature, there is no logic. What is logical? If someone is going to ask, what do you mean by the logical in the literature review? Literature review or paper writing or thesis writing, anything, should be like a story, a storytelling. If you are going to tell the story about any king or queen or whatever that may be, children's story, let's say, so that doesn't start with, okay, king died. That is the last part. If there is a death of king in the story, that start is the once upon a time there was a king in this place or like that one. So that is the introduction. So you have to make a story out of that one. All the literature, it seems like a story that engage the readers. They got engaged in that one. They enjoy your writing, right? And that should be a logical order for organization of all the literature. Like the fundamental contribution given, if someone is going to reinvent a particular field, so his contribution, his literature should come first. Introducing the subject to the readers, you can give the reference to his literature. Then how that development took place, someone build upon that one, publish other literature, tools, techniques like this one. And finally, you are going to do some critical review of that one, what someone has done, what he has not done, what done by others, what is left, and from that you can get the gap area, research gap. And that research gap should be your research problem. If you're going to solve that one, that should be one of the best contribution. Not focus on the most important facet. Sometimes literature review leave the some important issues or aspects of a particular area that is taken as the errors. Does not relate literature to the study. If your literature is not related to your study, that is not a literature review for that particular study. Too few references. If you're going to have the very few number of references, 10, 20, 30, from that references, that number of papers, you can't understand the whole field or whole area. Or there may be outdated references cited. Some references from 1980, 1990, 2005, 15 year, 10 year, 30 years old references you are citing. In the research, development is very fast. That's why again and again I'm telling you, go for the recent publications, not the outdated one. Also, not written in author's own word. If you're just copying and paste from the some literature, that is very bad. You have to paraphrase, understand the concept, what he or she, any author is telling, and then you have to write in your own words. Reads like a series of the disjointed summaries. People like that. This and this has done this in it, and in the next paragraph, this and this has done this. This is the disjointed. You already told you that should be like a story. There should be a flow. And recent references are omitted. So these are the common errors people make during the literature review. Mind it when you are going to write your literature review. Okay. And finally, one saying on the literature review that 2 hours in a library earlier, nowadays through a computer, can save 6 months in the laboratory or experimentation. If you have a very good theoretical background, you will face less and less problem during the practical implementation or conduct of the experiment or anything. That's why literature review is so much important in the research. I hope that you should go for the comprehensive literature review, follow all the guidelines discussed in these lecture videos. If any problem you are going to face in future related to the literature review or anything, you are welcome. You can ask any question anytime. That was the presentation part. Now, coming to the assignment part on this topic. Okay. What assignment we are going to have? I'll post that assignment after this class to your Telegram group and also on the learning platform of the college. Assignment is this. The next assignment you are going to have, as the previous assignment is going to be submitted by the 4th. Don't worry about the submission date, right? That should be flexible in the case of this assignment. I understand that you people may face some problem regarding the group activity or like that one. So this assignment has both the component, individual component also, and the group activity component also. First, you should understand what is the assignment is. From your research area, you are going to find out one poor paper, very poor paper, and one very good paper. You are going to search the literature. You have to find two papers. Criteria you have to decide, or based upon the lecture, you can decide the criteria. What should be the criteria for the good paper and the very good paper and the poor paper. Already we have discussed in the lecture classes. Okay. And you have to find that paper from the closely related area, from your area. I think all the people have decided their area, right? Use only research papers, not the review papers. Review paper is that kind of paper that review the publications, different articles. So go for the research paper that is publishing some results, some experimentation, something like that one. The report should be concise, maybe in the point form or columns you can use. Your analysis, how you are going to analyze the paper, should focus on the content, quality, language and presentation, analysis and synthesis, how they are going to synthesize, analyze the data. Here you should not bother about the format. We are not going to give any, you are not supposed to give any comment on the format, because different journals have the different format. Okay, so no comments is required on the format. Prepare a checklist of the main issues of the paper. What the main issue, what is the real problem that is going to solve, is there any limitation with the tools, techniques, whatever that may be. You may prepare the report section wise, like on title, is title is appropriate or not, is abstract is good, that is giving the information, what the paper should represent, how they have introduced the topic, is the methodology sufficient, that can be replicated, whatever result they got out of the methodology, is it possible to get that one, discussion, conclusion, etc. So you are going to look upon each aspect of these two papers. Finally, prepare the checklist individually. Already we have talked about the checklist. Okay. So that was the individual job till that. Prepare, write down on the one sheet of the paper. That is your work, individual assignment. Now coming to the group. In your group, you are going to discuss about that paper. If you are going to follow the same paper for the good as a bad paper and the very good paper, each people have some sort of this kind of outcome. You can combine this one, all the outcomes, all the analysis of the group, and if sometimes in the future time permits, one person from a group can present the findings about that good paper, very good or bad paper. Okay. So what I suggest, due to the limitation of these online classes, if that was offline, face to face, that is very easy to implement this kind of group work. For time being, you can leave the group work. Okay. We have the different kind of group activity. I have already planned for the different topics that is coming in future. So let me make it this assignment as a individual assignment. That means each and every person is going to find one very good paper from their research area, one bad paper from the research area. And then they are going to analyze that two papers on the basis of content, quality, language, presentation, analysis, synthesis. Prepare a report and that should be submitted to me. Okay. How? Submission will consist of a cover page giving your details, the details of paper you are examining. That means on the cover page, your name, your roll number, or your ID and your section, then very good paper, title, journal name, author's name, like that one. Volume, page, year, from which journal you have taken that. And with that, submit the 1 or 2 page of your report, right? You can make a PDF file of that one and send it to my mail ID and name these files as A2 your name ID number. Okay, assignment 2. Earlier assignment was marked as the A1. Okay. If you have any difficulty, any question you want to ask, you can ask now. Okay, platform is open for the question. Anyone
Okay,
want to
sir.
ask any question?
This is Kiruel. I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Can I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Okay, the first question is the poor research and the very good research that you should select. I think the title should be the same on the same area, right?
In the same area, not title. Title is the title of paper, okay? Area is the research area.
Researches should, yeah, the research area should be the same.
Research
Okay,
area should be same, yeah. From the
okay.
same research area.
When we prepare a report, you don't really have to attach the good or the not good research file. The file should not be attached. We just prepare
You have to attach your report only. Not I can get the paper from this information, title of paper, journal title, from that